Yo, King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. Go subscribe to the Circle of Honor podcast. The link will be in the bio. We will not be dropping the first episode until we get 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you share the word. Circle of Honor podcast is in play. If you feel like you want to donate to the Circle of Honor podcast, Stop Recycling Crime is the Cash App. Get there ASAP. More than anything, man, you want to be amongst the first 1,000 subscribers because we got something honorable we're going to be giving y'all. But we want for you individuals to really understand that this topic I'm going to speak on tonight, me and Leek Moss has spoken on this topic. And I figure by the time the podcast really gets to rolling, you guys won't really get a chance to hear it till late. But we basically spoke on 1090 Jake. 1090 Jake had no business going on the news or anywhere else giving up information about anything personal that the inmates have going on with the guards. Reason being is because those inmates, right, and those guards have become lawbreakers together. Yeah, let's get that understood. The very second, the very minute that cop or that CO breaks law, he becomes a criminal. Most criminals are honored by it because they get a lot of information of what's going on. Now, I'm not talking about criminals giving the police information. I'm talking about police coming over and saying, hey, I'm a criminal, I'm breaking law. He knew that was against the rules. And if he was in an penitentiary, guess what? They'd have walked him up top. And if he go back to a penitentiary right now, guess what they'll say to him? That's not honorable. Especially if in Florida or anywhere else, they started searching around that time specifically for these named drugs that he named. Now, I'm not going to get into that conversation. You're not going to have me naming exactly what he named. But a lot of people are online, and guess what? They're going right at him. They're saying he need to stay out of our culture. He need to mind his business. And, you know, I can't go against my people and say they're wrong. But had he not been a Rizat, maybe I could have said, this is one of the guys who is helping us get to the promised land. This is one of the guys who has helped us, you know, he's helping the bondage get off, but he's not. He's not an individual that's helping us escape. And a lot of times when you have individuals that claim they are and claim they like us, that's the problem. Hey, Jakey Makey, nobody asked you to claim that you liked us. Nobody asked you to get in the fence of anything that's going on. If you're not a racist or you're not an individual that's not against our people, why would you respond? Usually white individuals, when you go ahead and you go at them about racism and things of that nature, they look it off. They know what we've been through. For you to respond and have a word in edgewise, for you to be an individual and say, man, if I was an activist, what do you mean? You're showing your racism now. What do you mean by if you were an activist? You don't have a right to call our brothers that are really trying to do the right things activists. You don't have a right to joke in that matter. That's where you lose me at. More than anything. Okay, Boston Richie's a Rizat, right? He's a Rizat. But let me give you some understanding. If you was in an Aryan Nation car in the can, or whatever car you in, they're not going to choose for you to check the brother. They're going to go to the brother car and tell them, yo, he ain't no good, y'all check him. So maybe you do not have a word in edgewise on speaking on anything. Now, some will say, well, King Earner, don't that mean you shouldn't speak on that Rizat Sammy the Bull or any of them rats, John Elite and all them rats that are pure liars? I do what I want to do. I'm not a 1090 Jake. I'm going to walk around, drive around, go around, do what I want to do. And guess what? If I want to speak over your content, if I see it, I'm going to speak on it. Because guess what? I'm cut like that. I'm different. I'm not a 1090 Jake. I'm not a kitten. So I do as I please. And some would say, Erna, You shouldn't talk on it, and maybe I shouldn't. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop me? You know why? I'm the one that the people that are missing indictments and saying, Erna, I appreciate that, man. I was caught up in this indictment. I was cuffed and stuff. The things that you said made me aware and made me want to get out of the streets. And I got away from that guy. And guess what? I'm free. I'm that guy. Not these guys who are putting the paperwork up looking for clout. Don't you understand who King Erna is? Over 60-some speakers in my community alone. Over 30 to 40, a lot more in the school system, in the roughest part of the school system, may I say. The Camelot School, where it's discipline, where I can kind of say it's better than the Boone that we grew up. That's the name of the school used to be. I was the one. I'm the only one from our community in Philadelphia that's amongst our people that went into them schools. Yeah, the ones y'all was calling killers and that was ending up on the news, or the ones that were dying, some of them was coming from that school. And guess what? The teachers and everybody will tell you, King Erna always gave us understanding, y'all don't have to be in this room with me and these youngins, because guess what? I know how to deal with them, and they know how to deal with me. I'm not here to ridicule anyone. I'm not here to talk down on anyone. All I'm here is to state the facts and prove to these youngins that most of these rats, most of them, are looking to cuff and stuff them, and they are exactly what they are, rats. But they come from the streets. They come with the smooth talk like they super thorough. They've been in this can and that can. But they ain't telling you how they've been robbed. They ain't telling you how they was ran up top in those penitentiaries and had to go to jail in order to live, give up different names, hide their names, hide their paperwork. They're not telling you that. So youngin', why would you follow that footstep? That's what my goal is. That's what my goal is. My goal is to be, that guy told, ha, ha, ha. So when I seen 1090 Jake all over the Boston Richie mutt, it mind boggled me. It bothered me after a while. It's like he's on him every day here. Like he's, like he's clean. Then on below, guess what happens? He's a cold rat. A cold rat. Anybody that goes on national television speaking about anything negative, any criminal thing that they saw in a prison amongst their fellow inmates that are convicts like they were, good. Good. Don't say, because it's the police. Don't give me that Rick Ross syndrome. It was because it was the police. We told them police decided to feed your family. Those police are making them individuals' bed a lot more comfortable than anything. And guess what? You tore it up. You destroyed that because you're a little bit too thirsty about a culture that has nothing to you. And I can tell by your properness, you're really not from the streets, 1090 Jake. I can tell. Yeah, when I hit those compounds and, no, you want to be down. You want to be a compound hitter. You want to be a tough gangster. This is why I try to give the understanding to the people. Sometimes the whole shoot 'em up, bang, bang jail stories can get a little played out because some of these guys, man, they're fraud. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He claims to be a gangster, but guess what? Guess what, gangster? Your honor is snatched. You will never get it back. Number one, you are Riz. Number two, you're not a part of the culture and you're trying to bring down the culture. You don't have a right to do that. We already been through slavery. We already been through the white guys lying to the brothers and the sisters on the field, out there working wholeheartedly, been sweating, might have just got out of slavery around that time. And this white guy leads them into another slave master. That's all I see you as, because you're not coming with honor. You're coming with a manner of not understanding that when brothers and sisters speak out against you, you do not speak back. When you speak back, you're showing that you're racist. When you said what you said, if it was an activist, you're showing you're racist against our people. Live and direct, there's no other way to confront it. And I'm not here to go ahead and pickle pockle with you kidding you. But I'm here to tell you this. Around these parts, you're not honored. And your honor is snatched because you took time out to point the finger when all of them four fingers including this one because you was a kitten. You need to thumb up, you kitten. I'm pointing right back at you. No honor, no respect, no character that has to do with you helping our people. Mind your business, because you are a rat. You have no way to have a word in edgewise. King Earner, live and direct.